Yes. Okay, now we're going to hear from board member Sherry Wulff, and she's going to she's the secretary of the board. Sherry? Just force it.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Cam. Good evening, ZoeCare family, friends, and special guests. My name is Sherry Wulff, and I serve as the secretary for our ZoeCare board. I'm so honored and delighted to have the opportunity to share briefly with you tonight. I remember it was about 10 years ago when I had the great joy back in Lodi, California, to hear the most amazing, inspiring, energetic speaker of our time. And tonight, friends, you'll have that very same experience, as that same leader in life is with us this evening with Miss Gianna Jessen. Well, I'm sure you love the ministry and the miracle of pregnancy clinics, just like I do. So before we get to God's girl, Gianna, I'd love to give you an update on our very own ZoeCare and share some highlights from this past year with you. For our patients are why we're here, but you out there are how we're here. Through your involvement and support at ZoeCare, you are saving and transforming lives. Consider the following powerful stories of recent patients. The young woman with the abortion scheduled the day after coming into ZoeCare, who decides at her ZoeCare appointment that she can't go through with it, and she chooses life. Yes. The young couple overwhelmed by the idea of being parents, choosing instead to create an adoption plan to give their child a good chance at a good life. The scared new dad who joins being dad to be mentored and encouraged by an older Christian dad who's been there. A high school teen finding comfort, friendship, and guidance in being a mom in ZoeCare's Mom to Mom program. A newly married couple barely making ends meet, convinced they must abort their child because of finances and life situations, embracing the joy of parenthood after seeing their son on the ultrasound screen. This is who your ongoing support of ZoeCare impacts on a daily basis. This much-needed work doesn't get done without you. In each story that you've heard tonight, you are the unsung heroes enabling them to happen. My own heart was deeply touched many years ago through stories such as these, as I began my pro-life journey while working and volunteering at pregnancy resource centers in California. Upon moving to Montana, I learned of ZoeCare when I met Cam, our wonderful MC, through BSF. And I immediately signed up to attend the banquet, sat with our delightful Kelly Hone, who hinted in her special way, if you know Kelly, that I become more involved. And then 2 years ago, I was thrilled to be invited to serve on our board. Over the years, Tom and I have experienced many facets of the pro-life life, as I wept with friends who revealed to me the pain of their abortions. We shared in the joy of countless friends whose lives have been touched through adoption of children of all ages. We've experienced secondary infertility between our daughters when Tom had cancer, and then God blessed our lives with our miracle baby. And one of our best friends here in Montana has the sweetest little girl, Lindsay, who brightens the world and those she loves through her Down syndrome. All life is indeed precious to me, and our own family just celebrated the gift of new life once again as we welcomed our second grandchild into the world, a sweet baby girl born at home in Manhattan last Tuesday. And Mike, our Being Dad director, also welcomed a precious little granddaughter just this past week. So I think it must be the month for babies, or maybe the month for grandbabies. Some of you can relate to that. Well, now it is my honor to introduce to you my fellow board members that I serve with. Please stand and remain standing as I call your names. Acting President Neil Ganser, Treasurer Harmina Dykstra, longtime board members Klaus Tuninga, Kelly Hone, and Dr. Ben Fluke, and our newest welcome addition, Dustin Van Dyke. Let's give him a applause. Thank you all so much for your years of service. I know some of you have been involved in ZoeCare for years and years, and it's just truly a blessing for me to serve alongside. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize an individual who's given so much of her time and talent to ZoeCare, for the past number of years, serving as our president during that time, Darcy Van Beek. Darcy, where are you? Please stand. I know she was here, I think. Anyway, we will miss Darcy a lot as she moves on to other ministries, and we have really, really appreciated her pouring herself out to the ministry and all the different transitions with Darcy being here with us. While continuing to focus on ZoeCare's core values of life, truth, grace, excellence, and community in all we do, we also took a huge step into the world of becoming an accredited clinic through AAAHC, kind of a tongue twister. That's known as the Accreditation Association for Ambulatory Healthcare, the national secular standard for ambulatory clinics in the United States. This year's tremendous behind-the-scenes effort means elevating the excellence of all our work through the accreditation process. A few notes on accreditation. Only 10% of the nation's ambulatory healthcare clinics are accredited. There are only 16 accredited clinics in Montana, 2 of which are in Gallatin Valley, soon to be 3. It provides safeguards and accountability to provide excellent service at all times. It also inoculates ZoeCare from claims that our medical services are substandard. And a quick note, Planned Parenthood clinics are not accredited. Although it's been a long process, ZoeCare is bettering itself to offer the best service possible to our patients. And thankfully, accreditation does not inhibit our ability to be Christ's ambassadors to our patients and to fulfill our mission. We're still in the thick of it right now, so we're projecting to be accredited in 2020. Our faithful staff, many of which are out there, and you've met some of them as you've gone around this evening, our faithful staff has stepped up in a major way this past year to devote extra time and countless hours in developing and implementing all the policies and procedures required to complete the process and to become fully accredited. It's been a long, long journey, but we believe worth every step. Thanks to all of you in this room for helping make this happen and for keeping this ministry moving forward into where God is leading. And finally, it's with great pleasure that I introduce someone who has served tirelessly at ZoeCare this past 2.5 years in his current position. He is compassionate and creative, focused and faithful, humble and oh so hardworking. Our very own Executive Director, Chris Grinnell.
Thank you, Sherry. Okay, a little taller. For those who know me, you know that I believe really strongly in the local church and how ZoeCare is kind of an offshoot of the church here in the Valley in Southwest Montana. I cannot express to you how much I appreciate the churches that we get to partner with and the pastors that lead those churches. We are blessed at Zoe to have dozens of churches that come alongside us. We have pastors that come in and lead us in devotions in the mornings. And it's been such a pleasure to get to know the pastors in this valley a little bit better during my last 2.5 years. For those of you who keep up with this stuff, you may know that this is October, and October is Pastor Appreciation Month. And so what I would like to do to honor the pastors that are here, I know there are a few, is to have the pastors, the priests that are here to stand and be acknowledged, and for all of us to thank you for the work that you do in this valley. Come on, stand up. There's several at my table. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you do for the kingdom and for what you do for ZoeCare. Really appreciate it. So I am going to repeat some things that have been said, starting with Pastor Sam and Cam. John 10:10, that's kind of ZoeCare's verse, and it keeps coming up because it speaks to the heart of who ZoeCare is. This is Jesus speaking. He says, "The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly." Jesus is all about life. Jesus is life. He went so far to say, "I am life." His followers, which includes us, have always been those who have expressed his abundant life, who have fought for his life, not only for others, but to share that abundant eternal life that Jesus provides. In the early church, the early Christians in the 1st, 2nd century would rescue babies, Roman babies, that they would leave out to die from exposure. And they would take them in, bandage them up, and give them a home to live in, and give them life. And, we don't see that as a cultural issue anymore. That was a common practice back in the 1st, 2nd century in the Roman Empire. But the Christians changed that. They fought for life, not only the physical life of these precious babies, but for the abundant life that Christ brings. They changed the culture and ultimately the entire empire from within. Like those 1st and 2nd century Christians, we are called to change the culture from within as well. That is, in fact, I think, why we're all here tonight. I want to encourage us all that in whatever we're doing and wherever we're going, whatever we do, whatever we say, that we are men and women who proclaim life, who express abundant life, and together we are here, ZoeCare is here, and you all are here, I believe, because you believe that we all can change culture from within. We can change this Roman Empire to be one that honors and celebrates life. Ultimately, that's what we're called to do. We are called to be people that change the world, that right the wrongs in this world. By being here, you are supporting the expression of abundant life in Christ through ZoeCare and through ZoeCare's programs. So I'm going to quickly run through the programs that you all make happen. And then I want to introduce you to something new that we're just starting and invite you to be a part of it. Maybe you've seen up on the screens, or you've heard Sherry talk about it, or Cam mention it. But we have basically 5 areas that the ZoeCare works in. The first, which is probably the most known, is our patient services. So this is where we provide pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, STD testing, and treatment. This is where we deal with issues of life and death on a daily basis. So unplanned pregnancies, they come in, and we love and encourage them. Every pregnancy patient that comes in, we encourage to move into Mom to Mom, which is our mentoring program for new moms. And Cam has been a part of that. The other side of that is Being Dad. This is our mentoring program for new dads. And this, I like to say, is our stand against fatherlessness. It's a way of encouraging the dads to engage not only with the pregnancy, but with their child afterwards. 45 North is our prevention piece. Takes the message of healthy sexuality, of relationship training, of inherent human value into the schools, in the public schools, the churches, and it's a way of reaching out to the teens in this community. Finally, there's Safe Harbor, which is our ministry within your churches. If you think your church is immune to the issues of unplanned pregnancies or abortion, then let me be clear in saying you're wrong. You're not. Your church is not. And Safe Harbor, what we do with Safe Harbor is we train leaders, lay leaders in the church to be that support, be that encouragement for those struggling in the church with unplanned pregnancies. So these are the practical outlets that you enable to happen. Of course, they all require money, which is why we're here tonight, but they also require people. So I would encourage you to just stop at the volunteer table out in the lobby, because we need patient advocates. We need men and women mentors. We need 45 North presenters. We need Safe Harbor leaders in the churches. And we'd love to talk to you about how you can get involved, how you can really be the face of Jesus to people in need in a very tangible, really real way. All right, so now I want to introduce you to something new. We're calling it Sweet Cheeks. Now, it's hard for me to say that without smiling, and anyway, let me just go on. So beginning next year, in January of 2020, we are going to offer any of our pregnancy patients that need a little extra help with free diapers for 6 months after the birth of their child. So what this does is it not only helps out new families that may be struggling, but it also affirms their choice for life. And we want to help these people out. And so I'm asking for your involvement in this. We need sponsors for these new moms. And what that means is once a month when you're off shopping at Costco or Walmart, just pick up a box of diapers and drop it off at ZoeCare, and we will get it to a new mom. And she can have a big box of diapers once a month for 6 months, and we can really meet a need that, frankly, all of our patients need, all of our patients have. So there's a sign-up sheet at the volunteer table. We're looking for sponsors. Put your name on the line. Say, yes, I'll commit to this for 1, 2, 5 new moms, whatever you can do. And we would love to really hit it running in January and be able to offer this service to our new moms that come in. So I know that you don't want to sit here listening to me all night, so I get to introduce our speaker tonight. Before I do, though, I want to ask you to try to keep the noise level to a minimum. Turn off your cell phones. If your child or your husband is being particularly loud, then please take them outside in the lobby, at least until they calm down, and that would be much appreciated. So, since learning about Gianna Jessen, I have been inspired not only by her story, which is amazing, but also by who she is. Marked to die before she was born, she embraces life to its fullest and is pushing with all her energy that God provides her to spread his message. The late Mother Teresa said this about Gianna: God is using Gianna to remind the world that each human being is precious to him. It is beautiful to see the strength of the love of Jesus which he has poured into her heart. My prayer for Gianna and for all who listen to her is that this message of God's love will put an end to abortion with the power of love. Isn't that why we're all here? We're in for a challenging, inspiring treat tonight. So please join me in welcoming Gianna Jessen.